Squad? Welcome back to the channel, Celebrity Scandalous. Thank you guys for joining me today. I have been away, y'all. You guys know I'll be telling you about my migraines. The migraines had took me out for damn near a week and a half, but I'm back. And thank you guys for joining. So today I want to talk about this Shannon Sharpe. If you go to my channel, you can see that I have been following this closely. I'm not a huge sports fan, but I started following Shannon Sharpe when he kind of got big with the interviews he was doing with the Cat Williams. And, so then I started following him, and I've always been a fan of Ocho Cinco. And so I was just like floored when all of this stuff started coming out about him. So if you check out my channel, you can see that I've done a lot. I've done quite a few videos on him. Now, what I wanted to talk about is kind of rewind, because I've done some videos on him before. But what we've been hearing lately is just shocking. It is just shocking, like how he has kept all of this stuff under wraps for so many years. Like we're talking about 20 years, things that he's done in the 1990s that are just starting to come out. And I did a couple prior videos on this before, where they talked about how he had 3 babies. This man had 3 babies born in the same year. Okay. Like, so he's been like dealing with women for a minute. And I know there have been some rumors or talk that he doesn't deal with Black women. Like his first set of children were by Black women. So, I guess as he got bigger, as the money changed, he had to level up in his mind. Okay. We talking about in his mind. And, go with the lighter women, whatever. That's his thing. No big deal about that. But what people are talking about is all it is. It's just so much mess around him for him to have gotten as big as he is, to let this damn 19-year-old girl, right? Gabriella Zuniga, and I've been following her on Instagram because she's been posting all the time. I feel like she's taunting him. Gabriella is like sending out subliminals. Hey, Davita Jane, welcome. Thank you for joining the chat. Yes, girl. Davita Jane says he is cooked, baby. He's cooked. He cooked. He buried. He's eaten. He's done. He's toast. And the crazy thing about it is that the networks knew about this stuff. A lot of these things, they knew about it when they hired him. Like when he's been getting these promotions, he was previous. Hey, Michael, that's my boy, Michael. Hey, you, welcome to the chat. I know, please, y'all hit the like button for me. Can you please? Y'all, Michael, I've been down bad with these migraines, but I'm trying to get back up in the game. But yeah, the networks, they knew about it. They kept it hidden. I feel like they were protecting him, and I feel like they bear some liability. But for this man, like, I'm not a man, so I don't know. But goddamn, y'all, this girl's sending him stuff about 25,000 a cheek. Are you crazy? Yeah, it's something I've been dealing with, Michael. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying because, for those of you that are new here, y'all, my daughter's moving to Jersey. So I'm going to be in New York starting, I think, May 9th. So you guys, I'm going to the Diddy trial. I don't know if I'm going to make it into the courthouse, but I'm going because I haven't been to New York in some years. So I'm not familiar with New York and everything around there. But y'all, I'm trying to get these cheeks, the same cheeks that Gabriella Zuniga was telling Shannon he need to pay $25,000 for per cheek. I'm trying to get these cheeks in a pew in the courtroom so I can see what's going on with Diddy. So y'all stay tuned for that because I'll be coming back. I can't tweet from the court because I've already called the clerk's office, the county clerk, and asked them, the things that we can and can't do. And she told me I could take notes and everything, but only the press. I don't have a press pass, and I don't even know if it's worth it. I've had one previously. But, I won't be able to tweet. There's a process that you have to go through. But I will be taking my notes and giving y'all a blow for blow, okay? So y'all pray that I don't get no damn migraines before the Diddy trial. Hell, I might get one while I'm in there. But back to Shannon Sharpe. This man is, what the hell was he thinking? And so like I was going to say to the men that are in the chat, who is paying like that? Damn. I mean, I done had some men buy me a damn bracelet and a couple things and pay a bill and stuff like that. But what can a man, especially getting the kind of money that he's getting, and I know it probably it's not nothing for him to give a woman, hell, a cool $100,000. But who sits up there and lets somebody tell, oh, it's 25? And like, this man totally played himself. I'm sorry. And I'm not even joining in with the people saying the girl was not pretty. I don't think it has nothing to do with that. She's an attractive girl. She's a young girl. He likes the young ones. So I don't even think it's about looks. But what type of self-esteem do you have? This man could have went over to Bali. And I'm not promoting that, y'all. I don't think none of it is right. But who the hell sits up there and because I watched him and Ocho, and he be telling people, oh, discipline, you got to do this, you got to do that. Who sits up there and gives people directives about how they should live, how hard he's worked, and you throw it away on some cakes like that? Come on now. I'm just saying, listen, I know I'm older than Gabriella, but hell, you would have got better off with me. Hell, you could have paid a couple mortgage payments, took the Jag and got a tune up and been better off. Okay. I'm just saying, these men are crazy. Now he's lost $100 million. Where does that happen at? You've been accused of having kinky sex. You like to get beat up on women. You like to give away money because she said it was transactional, so you must like to be talked to like a damn dog. What the hell is wrong with Shannon Sharpe? What is the mentality? I'm really interested in the mentality because hell, I need to find me something like that. You know what I'm saying? I need some like that. Where I come from, the Bay Area, these men be out here trying to pimp these women, but I just don't understand. But anyway. So y'all know there's been a new report that just came out saying that Shannon, let me get over here. I want to take this banner off so y'all could see. They're saying that Shannon has been arrested before. And so y'all, I'm sorry about that. I know this is a busy background, right? This is crazy. I got Beyonce and all these other people in the background. But they're saying that Shannon Sharpe has been arrested. Now, I did a video where I had known that he had some situations with his earlier women, like in the 1990s with the baby moms. And he had like about 20 DV cases. Now, some of them were related to child support. Some were related, and we got to say allegedly, but there were some related to, some physical, back and forth. And it sounds like Shannon has the propensity to like to put his hands around women's necks. This is something that is a reoccurring theme with him. Now, I don't know if he gets so angry he just want to throw you out, or if it turns him on, but it sounds like this is a reoccurring theme. But this article right here is from The Sun. It came out yesterday. It says Shannon Sharpe has been arrested at least twice for battering 2 different women decades before the lawsuit. Now, the thing about it is, it's so much. It's just so many women that he's been accused of violating. It's been some of his baby mamas. It's been people, co-workers, and lovers. Like, it's just too much, and nobody has done anything. But let's kind of go through some of this stuff right here. It says Shannon Sharpe, a renowned NFL star personality, was arrested twice in the 1990s and 2000s for allegedly assaulting 2. I'm just gonna video because it's gonna kind of cycle through. And hopefully I can read it fast enough. The first incident occurred at Sharpe's Atlanta home in 1995. He and the woman were both charged with simple battery. A similar battery charge followed in 2004. A woman accused him of physically removing her from his home. That case was settled. 2023, Michelle Bundy accused him of rape, filed defamation lawsuit alleging he, did stuff to her. Another woman, Jane Doe, which is the woman we're talking about now, Gabriella, she is accusing him of rape and ended their relationship in 2024. Sharpe has denied all of the accusations. And it's crazy that he's denied them because it's like his attorney is tanking him because he's come out. Listen, and I told you guys, I already know that I was a legal secretary for years. So his attorney came out and acknowledged this stuff and said that when Shannon was saying that he was so mad that he wanted to put his hands around her neck, he admitted that Shannon said it. Like, He said it in a moment of anger. I ain't never seen no damn attorney admit something like that, at least publicly. Like, that's something I'm just saying, y'all know. I'm in, like, we know we could listen to it and tell that he was pissed and he meant what he said. But your attorneys represent people who have unalived people. So what, why would he admit to that? I just couldn't even believe that. And then the attorney went and let us know that Shannon Sharpe had agreed to pay her previously. So that was even strange. It's just like, the same thing that derailed Diddy. Remember, I see a close resemblance to what happened to Diddy as to what could potentially happen to Shannon Sharpe after that Cassie lawsuit, and he settled within 24 hours. What we think somewhere like $30 million. Everybody's antennas went up like, uh-oh, something, she must be telling the truth, or she has some dirt on him, or something is going on. So by his attorney acknowledging that he had agreed to pay her for a settlement made a lot of people think something is up. Now we know, if you know in a legal forum, that just because you settle with somebody, it doesn't mean you're guilty. Sometimes you just want the lawsuit to go away, but it sort of gives the impression that there's guilt there. That's just the way it is. And now that we're seeing all of these other cases coming out, it's looking like, Shannon, you may be doing some time. I'm sorry. Diddy's case started out the same way. It was just a lawsuit. We're talking $30 million. Then more people started coming out of the woodworks. Same thing with Shannon Sharpe. We're hearing about more and more women coming out. He did this to me. Now we have cases where he's actually settled. So if you're looking at it from a legal perspective, from a criminal charges, if you've settled over 22 cases, which, if you remember, it was the same thing with R. Kelly. The first time R. Kelly got off, when he, was being accused of his stuff against young girls. But the second time he got caught up because they started pulling out old cases that he thought were dormant. They started pulling up his past and showing a pattern of him settling with these women. That was one of the big things in the R. Kelly case, and I covered that case. So this, to me, Shannon Sharpe is really kind of going down the R. Kelly Diddy path here. Now, I mean, Diddy and R. Kelly is really different because it's the music industry and probably the number of alleged victims are larger. But now we're starting to see that Shannon Sharpe does have a history of violating women, having settlements, and trying to have it brushed under the rug. But it's all bubbling up, especially with this case now. Now, this case where she's suing him, it's a civil case. It definitely is a civil case. But based on the things that she's alleging, it's teetering on becoming a criminal case, in my opinion. It could be. Right now, he's looking at facing, possibly having to settle with this woman, going to trial and all that stuff, millions of dollars that he's going to lose. But no, Shannon, you better think twice, because regardless, if it's found that you did violate her, that is a felony. There's no way around that. And it's not up to her to bring the criminal case at that point. It's up to the state can bring it. So he's in a bad way. Not only is he facing these charges, we know that he's probably, they're saying it's inevitable that he is not going to be back on ESPN. That's off the table. We've heard that, and we've seen, just if you watch his show, he's not even promoting his sponsors anymore, like that Boost Mobile. I think he used to also talk about if you want to do online betting and stuff like that. These things are all off the table. Like, they're not even, his sponsors are gone, right? Disney does not want the affiliation with him. Disney is a wholesome family company, but we know that's not true. But Shannon Sharpe is just not a good look. He has ruined it. And the $100 million deal, man, that was like, I don't know if it was, who was it? It was Chris Rock, who said grand opening, grand closing. As soon as they heard this stuff, like, Shannon, I know they wasn't going to let you take that $100 million, because there's advertisements, endorsements, There are morality clauses, even at the level if you work for just a basic company like Burger King. I'm just saying, if y'all read the fine print, they do have these little, most people don't read the fine print. Hell, we just want to flip burgers and get the job. We don't care. But if you read the fine print of these companies, these corporations, there's a morality clause, there's brand related things, and they will tell you if you do some ish on your weekend and get drunk and it reflects poorly on the company, we can fire you. So it's a no-brainer that he wasn't going to keep that $100 million. Here's another thing. I did a little digging. Of course, that's what I'm supposed to do. This woman, Gabriella, was asking for like 50 million. Shannon Sharpe, they're saying, is only worth about 14 million. Where's he going to get the money to pay her off? At this point, he's in the deficit. He's negative 14 million. You know, I'm just saying, like, because now she's taking money that he allegedly don't even have. Not to mention the money that she's asking for, that will go to her and her attorneys. You know, attorney will give 33 to 40% of that, millions, if she gets that from Shannon. He got to pay attorney's fees now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then there's lifestyle issues. He talks about how he takes care of his family. So he's got those bills. Like, Shannon has just overnight just derailed himself, self-sabotage at the fullest. He could have went to Vegas, and he could have went to I heard men go to, what's that, magic club somewhere in ATL. It's so many places you could have went and got some $2,000 punani, and maybe even with a little bit of twist on the side, whatever you like, a little rough up, whatever. But this, and oh my God, and y'all know, not to be racist or nothing, but don't nothing historically, if you are grown enough to know, ain't nothing white men can't stand more is a Mandingo Magic City. Thank you, Michael. He could have went to Magic City and tricked off. I mean, that the kind of money that's generational wealth right there. $50 million. But we know white men can't stand for you big bucks to be messing with no young pretty white line. And a lot of y'all say she wasn't pretty, but she's still a young thing. And 19, ninja, not a teenager. I know she was of age and she was legal, but where is your discernment? Like, all through life, when you get a certain, as you get things in life, you want to protect your little bitty assets. I got meager assets. Hell, I ain't even a thousandaire, okay? But hell, I want to protect it. And when people come into your orbit, where's your discernment to use your common effing sense? And you paying like that. Michael says, I can't pipe no young bras. And Michael, and even if you did or didn't, there still has to be some level of just some common sense along with it. You know what I'm saying? This 30-year-old chick, 19-year-old chick has finessed this man better than some older women that I know. I ain't gonna lie. This girl, and if y'all go to her, if you go to her Instagram, she keeps posting stuff. I'm going to tell my story. And like a couple of days ago, because I'm like waiting to see what she's going to say, because she's like, I'm going to go live and I'm going to spill it all. Well, I feel like she's taunting him because we know there's more behind it. We know that there's more to it because remember, he comes out talking about, oh, well, they had the tape. And, you know, I know they're going, but it's supposed to tell 30 minutes of me effing her. Don't just do the 10 minutes. It's like, are you out your damn mind? You don't tell nobody to release. Hey, Michael, and welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. Please hit that like button when you come in. Who sits up there and says, release the evidence on me to prove a point? You don't do that. Even if you know you guilty, let them handle that in the back office. You don't tell nobody. You already looking bad. Do you not understand what the ramifications are? How that looks with you doing whatever you doing is already PORN for the most of us. And you telling them to release it? Why? Is it going to make you look less guilty? Is it going to put you in a better light? I could see him saying, well, you know, can y'all release the video footage of me preaching and singing in the choir and doing a sermon at the church? You gonna tell them to release a video clip of you ramming a young white girl, a teenager, even though, again, I know she's over, she's of age. What that was just, I'm like, what are you thinking? Are you nuts? Are you crazy? Like that, all of this is just bad for him. I don't know who his friends are. I don't know who's advising him, but people must really hate him. And his attorney, to me, that's the kind of attorney that you go file malpractice on, because who comes out and he has admitted to all of this stuff. Okay, Michael, you getting into it. I haven't seen it. Now, here's another thing. The people who have seen the video, I first heard about the video about a week ago, and they were coming out, different YouTubers and people behind the scenes were coming out saying that people close in the industry, that they had seen the video. So I did a video yesterday with King Jamar, whatever. Not to be dismissive, but it's so many damn names, I can't keep up with all of them. But he was saying that a friend of his saw the video and that Shannon is going to prison. And I haven't, and I've heard about the video. And so Shannon is probably going to do the whole Diddy thing, saying it was consensual. But the problem with that is, even when we heard people, because people have, if it goes to a jury, they're going to have to make a determination. Like, we are all human and it's our perspective, right? They're just going to have to make a decision. And just like when we heard that phone call, when he was saying that it was misconstrued, I didn't hear consent. I didn't hear that it was playful. I heard anger, and that was what I perceived it to be. I was like, nah, that sounds, yeah, Lord Jamar, thank you, Michael. Michael be helping me. He like a co-host too, okay? Thank you, Michael. I was like, I didn't hear no playfulness there. I done had some guys, we done talk a little rough. Hell, we grown, so you say things, right? But that was sounding serious. And so then, it was left up to your own interpretation, right? But his damn attorney came out and said, "Oh no, he said that in a fit of anger." Are y'all kidding me? This man was dumb enough to admit that he said that in an angry response. So the next step is that if he were really in her presence, would he have done it? Because it was a threat. He said it. He didn't say they were planned. He didn't say it was just roughhousing or anything. He admitted that Shannon said that. And then now we also have visuals, which we haven't seen, but we're understanding that there's video footage of him doing these things to her and that she's screaming. So now when you tell us that he meant what he was saying and he did it in anger, how are you going to tell us that when she's on this tape, because they're describing it as yelling and screaming and, she's telling him to stop. How are you going to make us believe that he wasn't trying to hurt this girl? How are you going to make us believe that it was consensual? You're not. It's going to be hard to prove that to a jury. Now, some people have come out and they've read some of her text messages saying, when she was saying, "Oh, put your hands around me," all the stuff that she was saying. I feel like, yeah, that was part of what she was being paid for. So that's that. But when you're in the act and there's a video of you roughhousing a woman, and it's different to hear moaning. And I don't know. It just depends on what your bedroom play is, okay? It just depends. But we know, Michael says, sounds like she was putting on for the set. Well, but did she put on for the setup, or did he set his own damn self up? I mean, seriously. Like, when you dealing with these type of chicks, you don't know what you're dealing with? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I don't know. They dealt with each other for 2 years. It sounds like he has been dealing with multiple IG women or women in this vein or whatever they call themselves. I don't want to call them ho-ho-hos, but hell, you selling kitty cat. That's what it is. Yeah. So yeah, they've been together multiple times. It sounds like, so what's kind of blurry, because in some instances, they refer to it as a relationship and then they say it's transactional. But no, and I'm gonna just have to say, I don't know no other way to say it. How do you date a hoe? You know what I'm saying? How do you date a hoe? No, that's your girlfriend, a 19-year-old. So I do believe that it was merely sexcapades. That, to me, that's what it was, right? How do you not know that you're supposed to be careful? Like, how were you paying? Were you even cognizant of how you were paying it? Because I've seen things online where men, they're careful with their credit card, especially if they're married or something, how they pay these women when they do the webcams. What precautions was this man taking? I'm just saying. Um, Michael says they've been together, well, damn, over 100 times. And so he sits up there. Now, see, Michael, thank you for saying that. Because uh, Shannon be sitting up there talking about, I work so much, I don't have time for nothing else. I don't let no woman spend the night at my house. Hell, you work so much, but you doing some extracurricular activities too. Shannon got us up here thinking he ain't got time for nothing else. That he ain't got time to date no woman because he's so busy with work. But no, Shannon, no, you've been doing some side activities that done got your ass in trouble. It's crazy. Michael says you can date him, just can't make him a house. Yeah. But I mean, should it even be a dating, or is it just transactional? Because the other thing was that came out is that she allegedly got it. Now this is the part where I'm a little bit like, I don't know. Now she says that they broke up after she heard him saying, Michelle, right? So okay, so y'all broke up after that, but you messed with him again because allegedly that's when he did he forced himself on her. So this lawsuit and all of this, did this all go bad after you got pissed off? Is this a disgruntled or angry girl? Well, I don't want to say girlfriend, but you know what I'm saying? Like, everything was good when you were getting your money, whatever. But after you found out about Michelle, so then does it become just like kind of like what Michael says? Yeah, like, yeah, she mad about Michelle, right? So is it all of these things that occurred? Were you cool with it up until Michelle? And now that you pissed, I'm gonna get my get back? Because that's kind of, hey, women, we do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now that it's not, now Michelle is dipping her finger in the cookie jar and it's not all yours. Are you pissed about that? But unfortunately, the way Shannon set himself up, he kind of set himself up for that, right? It's kind of, it's too bad. It's unfortunate, but he brought that on himself. And then Tasha K was the one who did that little the little clip where he was trying to talk about Tracy Ellis. What is it? Tracy Ellis Ross or Tracy Ross Ellis? I'm probably getting that screwed up. But when she was talking about dating younger men, now let me say this as a mature woman, okay? A woman over 45. When we talk about dating younger men, we're not talking about dating boys our children's age, like teenage boys. A woman over 40, in her 40s, going on to her 50s, whatever, on up. What I believe, now I'm talking about the majority of women that I know, and I'm just going to make a blanket statement because everybody's situation is different. They're not talking about running around here with these men that's 20, 30 years younger than them. Generally, it's probably a 5 to 7, 8 year difference in the age. That's what I'm going to say. Something, where people would be like, girl, you got you a little youngster, huh? And you like, girl, but not nobody would be like, oh, did your son, I just saw your son park in the car. Like, oh, is that your son, your grandson? Like that. So his point, because he was talking about it with Ocho, so they were trying to use Tracy and bring her situation up. Oh, well, when Tracy does it, no, y'all, Tracy is dating these men. She's bringing them home. It ain't no transactional. Now, she might be paying for stuff. I'm not saying that she might not be a bit of a sugar mama. I don't know, but it's different. The dynamics are different. In these May, December romances with women are not, well, and there are some women that might be just, paying money. There are some, but Tracy, what she was saying, I think, is that she is free to date. She doesn't have to date within her age range, that she can be more fluid and flexible. Okay, so Michael says she paying too. Now, granted, she probably is. I'm not gonna deny that she might not be, lining these little young bucks' pockets, but not like Shannon Sharpe. I would pretty much bet everything and say women are not doing what he's doing. Now, some women might be a little bit simple. They might take a little shopping spree, a little jacket and some shoes, but I don't think she's doing like that. I just don't. Wesley Myers said, "Stop lying. We was hitting all you cougars. You can't lie to us." Um, I'm not saying cougars. I don't know the part you're saying about lying, because I do feel like women, the ones that are a little older, might be, they're going to do something, but they ain't doing it not like no damn Shannon Sharpe. I'm going to tell you, the first time a young cat talks some ish like that to a mature one, 25,000 for this meat, baby, kid, call your daddy, your uncle, F you. I mean, we're not doing all that. And this is not about us. This is about, we ain't that damn stupid. Now, like, you could say whatever you want to say about cougars, but you ain't seen us sitting up here losing everything over no young man like Shannon Sharpe is. It's too many men that have lost ish over women versus women the other way around. We ain't losing ish like that. So whatever your argument is, I like it. Wesley Myers, thank you for joining the chat. But it fails miserably because you don't see no woman getting up here getting clowned or played like that. It's just not going to happen. Michael says now, okay, Michael, I don't know what you're talking about because women don't lose. I mean, I think women are just a little bit wiser, and I do think that women do trick off money on men. Younger, older, whatever, because sometimes if a woman is in love, they're gonna spend some money. But we're talking about, this man has destroyed an empire. This is different. Michael says it's a double standard. I don't think it's a double standard, Michael. We're talking about Shannon Sharpe just tanked his whole career. Come on. Not, he's no longer I think, like I said, I don't follow football like that, but I was hearing that he was supposed to be in some Hall of Fame and all of this stuff. This man is now going to be known as a like Cat Williams says, a BD deviant. I'm just saying. Wesley is saying it's just not demonized. Women aren't looked at the same way. I think women finesse and move differently because there is a double standard. When you have a woman that has a younger guy, people, it's talked about differently. First of all, it's not well received by other women. It's not the same thing. Men have been doing it for years. Women have not been allowed to have the same freedoms that men have. If you see an older woman with a younger guy, trust me, in the group circle, women, we laughing like, girl, I hope you know he only wants you for your pocketbook, child, please. I mean, Michael says Cher has a young boyfriend and nobody says anything. I mean, I agree with you. There are some women out there, and I can't really, I ain't gonna lie, I can't speak for the clear women, how they do it. I'm talking about the sisters. It's a little different, you know what I'm saying? Michael M says Monique and Cat Williams. Yes, Monique and Cat Williams. And y'all, I wish you guys got to go to the Art of Dialogue and listen to Umar, because he is talking about it too. And I don't like to feel like, people love who they love, do what you want to do, but he took it to the extreme. You got a snow bunny, you got one that's 19, a teenager, and now you tying up and I'm gonna beat the ish out of you, and there's slave play in it. Like, whatever he was doing, he should have taken the precautions to make sure this never hit the light of day for the public, because everybody has their own personal things that they do in, your private life. That's your private life. But for him to be so careless, he even talked about the thing about it. Wesley, Whitney was with Ray J. Whitney, allegedly, Ray J was running her rugs, right? So that's a whole nother difference with Whitney. Whitney was a different case. Y'all get me off topic. Desmond, hey Desmond, thank you for joining. What happened to the NDA? So the NDA is the non-disclosure agreement. So here's the thing with the non-disclosure agreement. Everybody shouts about an NDA. when you sign with most companies, there's usually a fine clause. You have an NDA if you work at McDonald's. The NDA will be do not disclose the secret sauce. So there are going to be NDAs. We all have NDAs all throughout our lives. Most people don't even think about it because when you're signing on to these jobs and corporations, there will be clauses that you cannot disclose things. That's standard with anything. But in this situation, I mean, I think he did ask her for an NDA and she refused. But even if she had an NDA, NDAs do not stand up in court if a crime has ensued. So it wouldn't matter because even if she signed an NDA, that might prevent her from maybe talking about his personal finances, things that he discussed with her that he didn't want people to know. But if she was violated, that is a breach of the NDA. I mean, that invalidates that would invalidate an NDA. So that, is kind of a moot point in here, Desmond say if you pay, that means you don't speak. What do you mean? Are you saying that if he paid her that she should have stayed quiet? I agree with Michael when he said that she probably got pissed when she found out about him and Michelle, because it sounds like she was under the impression that they were having a relationship, which is crazy. Why would this girl, why would Shannon Sharpe even have this young girl with the age difference thinking? What kind of relationship did they have? Were y'all taking vacations together? Were you meeting the family? Where y'all, because he says you can't spend the night at his house. You can't do number 2 at his house. Like, what the hell? Like, he got so many damn rules. It don't even seem like he really want a woman, right? So I don't know what type of relationship that they even had other than the component where he was, doing what he needed to do. And honestly, it's just sad that this man has not had more common sense, discernment. Back to what Michael M says, Monique and Cat Williams warned him, and there were others. Somebody also played a show where Cheryl Underwood, the comedian, was on there, and she was even talking about love and how, at a certain age, how you need to conduct yourself and being careful and stuff like that. So many people warned him. Like, I think it almost appears like, did he have a God complex? You know how some people think, oh, I'm above, it happens to everybody else, but it ain't gonna happen to me. Maybe he had a God complex because he was sitting there laughing at people. And then, Michael, you might even know this, if you've been following this story. There was one person that was on there, maybe a comedian, who had married and dated a younger woman. And I saw the clip. I can't remember the guy's name. And he was kind of giving him, clowning him about it. Like, couldn't you have asked her mother out? Like, the hypocrisy of it all. Not only are we looking at Shannon Sharpe, like, okay, so you're into the 50 Shades of Grey, because that was a big thing. I've never even seen the full movie because I couldn't get into it. But my friends and everybody loved that movie. A lot of women loved that movie. So that's what you're into. But now you're sitting up there making fun of people. It's like you are such a hypocrite. You talk about discipline. You talk about protecting your money, your assets, be smart, be wise, and you do this? There's a huge disconnect. And then the fact that he's done it for years. And it's bad because it seems to be a machine like ESPN and a very male-centric organizations that allow this stuff to be swept under the carpet. You know what I mean? Like, it's happening to women. So do people not care? Don't y'all got daughters? Y'all got sisters and aunts and mothers? Like, who allowed this in to keep getting up there talking this ish after all the stuff, that 22 different cases he's had? 22 cases, and they've known about it? That's crazy. I got to cough, y'all. Hold on one second. It's crazy that they even allowed him to be the face of anything, and we knew eventually this was going to come out. I can't imagine that he was going to keep getting up there. And I can't remember who had told him, but somebody had said, new levels, new devils, because remember he was getting mad. Desmond, I'm gonna get you 1 second. He had got mad when they started talking about him after the Cat Williams interview and how he went viral for that and all of the accolades he was getting. And somebody came on after Cat Williams and was saying, well, man, you got to get prepared for it because the hate is going to come. Whatever, get yourself tight, get yourself right, because they're going to come for you. And he laughed it off. And they did. I mean, they brought him down. So Desmond says, I never met a woman in my adult years who didn't want a hand around. Hey, well, I don't. And my cousin actually, and I've talked about that for people who've listened to me, was actually, that was done to her and she was unalived during the incident. And I've also heard and I've seen cases where that autoerotics asphyxiation, because most people don't know to the point that you could pass out or die or unalive you. So no, I'm not into all that. Trying to tell the truth, it was more about age than skin color. Okay, and I kind of agree. I think the age was but I think it's a combination of both, though. You kind of can't separate the two if you look at the history that we have in this country. I'm white and my girlfriend, okay, so you says, I'm white and my girlfriend is a half a snow bunny, whatever that means. So trying to tell the truth. So if your girlfriend is half white, what is she mixed with? But if you think about the history that we've had in this country, and my daughter was even saying, what did he think this was? Birth of a Nation? If y'all go back to movies that we've had over years where we've been indoctrinated that black men were not supposed to look in the eyes of white women. We've had multiple cases where black men have lost their lives. The Emmett Tills, like, this is our history. Like, you can't scrub our history. We know it. I mean, even in my family, my dad would talk about how growing up, don't look at Miss Ann. They would call them white women Miss Ann. Like, she was a person to be dealt with from afar, because you make one wrong mistake with Miss Ann and you could be swinging from a tree. So, and trying to tell the truth, you said you're white. So your experience will be definitely different than that of an African-American male or a black woman. Just like you're white, my experience is different from yours. So you won't understand how we've been acclimated, how we've been talked to, and how we've been trained in the stories that have been taught to us, right? So, I mean, we just have to understand that everybody's perspective is going to be different. So I agree that I think it's a combination. It's age combined with color. Because a 19-year-old with a 19-year-old black girl, there would have been some outrage because of the color, but then the issue and the topic of race would not be as prevalent. So I don't think you can take that off the table. Timothy says, I got 4 sisters, but the male urges is not taken care of is worse than, well, obviously, because it has lost him $100 million, and I just think that's crazy. Michael says, I blank with the burner with the hammer, not with the hands. Okay, Michael, stop. Black. Oh, think about the history. I'm Irish. So you're okay. So your girlfriend is biracial. She's black and white, and even that's different. That's a whole nother. She's, and I have biracial people in my family too, and they are treated a little bit different than a full-blooded African American person. And I also think that trying to tell the truth as a white male, I don't get as caught up into that because I'm in California, and I think sometimes people forget that we have a huge sect of white males, white men where I'm from, that date Asian women, primarily Asian. Like, Asian is the preferred. Some of these white men who are like corporate execs and tech and everything, they ain't getting no white chick. They're not checking for them. they got the Asian girlfriends. If you from California, Silicon Valley, it's a fact. Asian women are winning when it comes to white males. And then there's certain parts of the Bay Area where white men, there's a lot of Ethiopian women with white guys. The Ethiopian girls, if they're not dating the men in their culture, they're dating white men. So I mean, I don't get as hung up on it, but I think in this particular case, age and race did have something to do with it, and as well as what she does for a living. She's a whatever they call them. I don't know what her job title is, but one of them type of girls, right? Timothy says, when women told men I wasn't rough enough, then I say, then you get it just popped off the screen. I'm sorry. I was trying to read it. Do whatever, but I'm okay. Telling the truth says, look at Irish and blacks together throughout history. Yes, I agree with you to a point, but skin color is so annoying to talk about. It's prejudice. Are people with blue eyes treated different than brown? Yes, they are. Trying to tell the truth. Listen, I'm not putting my mama's business out there, but my mom dated an Irish. He was Irish and Jewish. He was biracial man. She's older, and she loved him. He loved her. You know what I'm saying? So, he's from New York, and so that's my mom's experience. We would disagree on stuff, but so I get it. I'm not knocking. I don't. You love who you love, but we still cannot deny the history in this country. And do people with different eye colors get treated differently? Yes, they do. They do, like, because it's a rare eye color and people just think it's different. And beauty, there's a such thing as pretty privilege. Yeah, so all of these things matter whether you agree or not. But yeah, we have a history of how people are treated and segregated based on a lot of different things. Michael says, I don't think the rage will be the same. Look at exactly. He was camping out at and that's the thing. R. Kelly was allowed to do it for decades. It's only, see, a lot of this stuff to me is only really becoming an issue because of the Me Too movement. I think we started seeing a little bit creeping in with the R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Jeffrey, and all that. Then it started becoming an issue. But for years, R. Kelly was allowed to get away with it. Black girls paying him under the table, settling, and nobody said anything. I mean, it was in our face. Michael, I ain't even gonna bring Jay-Z in this. I'm gonna just be quiet. I'm not even gonna bring Hova into this. Trying to tell the truth says 38% of Black Americans are part Irish. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. I didn't know that. But I do know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Desmond says, I got white homies in love. I got white homies, love them, black in Texas. The thing is that Desmond says whites don't catch the same tune. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean by that. But yeah, where I'm from, the Bay Area, so we have a lot of, there's racism here. We experience it. But blacks, Latinos, whites, we do tend to, hang out and do things together. So I don't know. I know in other parts of the country, it can be pretty polarizing and very different. But I also, like, my coworkers are Indian, and they've been just wonderful. I love them to death, but now I do understand that some of the white people don't like the Indians. So it depends. You said we're all racist. Well, there's an argument that you can't be racist because racism is more about institutionalized and preventing people from their rights. You could be prejudiced, but not necessarily racist. But whatever, people, that's not even a debate I'm trying to get into. But I'm going to still go back and talk about Shannon and how foolish he was to just tank his own career over this little young piece of tail. Like, I don't know. Y'all is talking about everything. You guys are talking about everything but what's at hand here. How this man, how you, or as a man, would allow this to happen. It reminds me almost the same thing. Well, this is very different, but was it Travis Hunter? and the fact that like the young girl that he's dating and how he's so blinded by love that he does not understand. I don't care how much money you make, who you love, you need to get a prenup. Everybody is warning him as well, just the same way with Shannon Sharpe. Everybody's saying, hey man, like you might love this girl, but she's come out and said some things, you need to get a prenup. And he's so blinded by love. It's like, are you crazy? She got this boy's nose so open. You said black racists are against their own people. Hey Jerry, thanks for joining. This is something from the past. They waited until they saw how much money he was about to make. But you know what, Jerry, what they're saying, well, okay, so when you say they, who are you? Who is the they? Because they're saying, well, and when I say they, what's being reported is the fact that this legal wrangling between him and Gabriella has been going on for months. That she came out with these allegations against him, and he had an attorney. And so we only found out about the $100 million deal, I believe, on Sunday. I think like April 22nd or something like that. So I mean, she was already asking for a certain amount of money before he even made the announcement. Now, because she is part of his circle of people, maybe she found out about how much he was going to make and decided to up it. But apparently the lawsuit had already been, well, you know what? You might have a point, because he probably had already been in talks about these deals, and he probably was bragging, and she probably knew about it. Shannon got children. Oh, yes, he has grown children. I think she's younger than his youngest child. Yes. Yeah, I don't know that it was something that was orchestrated prior to, his deal, but the deal probably has been coming, and he's probably been talking about it for months. And if she knows people that know him or whatever, hey, loving myself, welcome to the chat, girl. Join the chat, because there's all these men, girl, they are coming for me. Join the chat and give your 2 cents. So one of the things that we're talking about is whether or not this deal became, that it's polarized because of the young girl's age and race. Or do you think it's a combination, or do you think it's just because of her age? But y'all, I want to switch gears, because not only did we hear about Shannon Sharpe's history about being arrested, they starting to bring up the stuff. Tasha K has been on his behind. They're starting to bring up the stuff about his alleged relationship with Hollywood. Now, I remember talking about this about 6 months to a year ago. Y'all, we got to get into this video that they're talking about Shannon bringing that. Y'all know his stylist, like a lot of the things that he was saying, like how he fired Hollywood. Hollywood was pissed. Hollywood started leaking information, and I'm kind of feeling like Shannon just is all over the board with this thing. I feel like Shannon has been living a double life. Not only is he into this play with these young girls, I feel like he just like it. Maybe he's a what do they call it? The ones where you like an alcoholic, but an addict, an ex-addict. We certain words we can't say. But y'all, let's get into this video that is going viral. It's getting a lot of views because everybody talking about it. But they did a combination of clips about Shannon and his alleged lover. And these are allegations. But what do y'all think about it?
If you don't want people to know your business, then you just don't speak on it. Now, you're not going to make me look like a damn fool. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big of a star you are. You're not about to make me look like a fool.
That Bravo is not loving hip hop. Bravo, not loving hip hop. Bravo has been trying to get Hollywood to come on a reality show as a full-time cast member. Hollywood is Shannon's ex-stylist that he took to football games.
I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
Shannon Sharpe has always been in the spotlight for his bold takes and flashy fits, but now his private life is making headlines. From courtside sightings with a rumored ex-lover to accidental IG live leaks and shocking new lawsuits, Things are spiraling fast, and now his former stylist, yes, the same one fans think he was romantically linked to, is dropping cryptic receipts and hinting at secrets that could rock Shannon's world. And the craziest part? He's even spilling the tea about how Shannon tried to blackball him so he wouldn't leak his bedroom affairs to the world.
I don't know if you guys heard, Hollywood just released an audio clip to Tasha K about a week ago where Shannon Sharpe said, Hollywood, what you gonna do with all this? I'm like, what the hell? Like, it just sound, come on, y'all. I don't know. But Hollywood is dropping hints, y'all.
World. Just what's happening? Did Sharpe really try to silence his male stylist? And is that just the beginning?
No, Desmond. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. No, Desmond, it's not just now. Hollywood is pissed. Hollywood is happy that he's getting into all this stuff because remember he fired Hollywood when all of the this stuff came out about him being, Hollywood being gay and people accusing him of dating Hollywood. Remember, he fired Hollywood to just quiet the noise. And remember, they're also saying that video with Michelle came out because he didn't want people to think it was real. Hollywood feels pissed. He's hurt. Either he's a jilted lover or he's mad that he was fired. But y'all gotta listen. It'll explain.
Let's find out. So, a while ago, Shannon was trending in the headlines after he was spotted sitting courtside with Russell Hollywood Simpson, a gay stylist who, get this, was also NFL safety Kerry Rhodes' former lover. The two were spotted several times at the Lakers games. In fact, Hollywood even accompanied Shannon to high-profile events, and it seemed like Shannon was a fan of his work. However, with the two practically joined at the hip, the internet started talking, and Shannon did not like that one bit. People were questioning his sexuality. Mind you, there have always been rumors about Shannon being on the down low.
The streets are talking, where there's smoke, there's fire. Definitely think Shannon Sharpe. And it's just like, I've been around a lot of heterosexual men, and comfortable heterosexual men don't need to always defend their heterosexualness. Mm-hmm. Shannon Sharpe is always upset when somebody's saying that he's gay.
Even Mike Epps entered the chat at one point, talking about how Shannon was gay secretly. Yeah. Apparently, Shannon had invited him for a chat on the Club Shay Shay, and Mike turned him down like this.
I said, no, Medea, I ain't doing no anything. So you can sit across from me and look at my balls. I'm sitting down there. I thought he was going to attack Cat. That shit is called Shay Shay. The nigga's telling you.
Now, honestly, this isn't the first time there's been talk about a celebrity being on the down low. But Shannon always seems to take it way too serious.
Now, do you guys remember when him and Mike Epps was going back and forth, and he was saying, so Shannon was like, let's fight or whatever, and Mike was like, we ain't gonna fight, and I'm gonna bring a little piece of steel, and then all of a sudden, Shannon Sharpe started apologizing.
In fact, he goes out of his way to shut down the allegations. Check out how he clapped back at Epps during an episode of his Nightcap podcast with Chad Ochochinco Johnson. Mention my name again and I'm gonna put the DMs out. And I don't like doing this, but you're lying. He also said, I don't care about all that other stuff. You can say I'm gay. I don't care about that, because I won't chase a lie, but I won't let you lie on my name. Say my name again, and I'm gonna release the DM, because you're lying. You said I reached out to you to come on Club Shay Shay, and you're a mofo lie. Now, when I see you, I'm going to see if you're about that. I'm going to see if you want to say what you've been saying, trying to get some jokes because you got mad because Cat Williams did what he did. He made it seem like he was really mad about lying about Epps lying about the interview invitation. But honestly, fans could see past the act he was desperately trying to put up. And so with these kinds of comments going around, Shannon's decision to hire someone like Hollywood made things extra messy. That's why he decided to make some moves. He fired Hollywood. Worst of all, he wasn't a gentleman about it. He tried to discredit Hollywood.
See, Desmond, that's what he's pissed about. That's why Hollywood is either pissed about being fired or the fact that he broke up with him. One or the other, I don't know.
Hollywood, saying that he had nothing to do with his outfits. In fact, he went as far as to rehire his previous stylist, Shelly Davis, and told everyone that she was the real mastermind behind his wardrobe. And that kind of made it clear to fans what Shannon was trying to do. He was trying to shut down the rumor mill.
And I get it. My stylist, Hollywood, he was gay. Okay, that's his life. That's not mine. Mm-hmm.
Hollywood no longer styles me. Why? Because I'm loyal to Shelly.
And so let me just say this. I welcome gay people. Like I told my kid, hey, if you turn out to be gay, girl, we good. I'm flying the flag with you, the rainbow. I don't care. But I just think most heterosexual males that I've known, like I'm from a different generation now, they just don't hang out. I don't care. Even if they're stylists, they just not gonna be sitting courtside and taking you out like a chick. You gonna have a female. I don't know, y'all. Y'all men, let me know. Am I wrong or am I right?
He was hurt that after 20 plus years of being my stylist, that I had gone outside to hire someone else. And someone else was getting the credit when she was there at CBS. She was there when I started at Fox. She was there when I was going out and doing red carpet events. And I never had a problem. And for me, in my head, I thought I needed someone outside.
Right.
I didn't buy one thing new when Hollywood started styling me. Everything, all those LB jackets, all that stuff that I already had it. And a lot of the stuff she had already put together, but I took it apart. So when he put it,
This lie sounding a little raggedy. Some of the stuff he got me already had. Why would you let him do that? You paying him. And then I took it apart. What?
back together, it was just what she had put together. And I told him, I said, Hollywood, I said, bro, I think you did an unbelievable job. I said, but I'm gonna go back to Shelly because it's hurting her.
As expected, Russell was bitter about it. Shannon probably thought that firing him would be the end of the rumors, but that's not what happened. Instead, Russell made it his personal mission to expose what really goes on in Shannon's bedroom. He started off small, showing people how he actually did the work for Shannon with video proof.
I don't know what's in this box. I'm not going to open it until Hollywood gets here. But whatever it is in this box, I already know he going to make me look fly in it. I got the best stylist in the world, not the United States, the entire world. Of 8 billion people, I got number one. And can't nobody stop us. Shay Sharpe and Hollywood, a dynamic duo that can't be stopped. Run tell that.
Hollywood also posted a video on his Insta along with the caption, "Let's be clear."
I ain't said nothing, but dog, this dude right here be killing the game. I be watching. Y'all be killing the game, Hollywood. You straight killing it.
And that raised some serious eyebrows because when was the last time someone went out of their way to appreciate their stylist like that? The craziest part? Shannon had praised Hollywood multiple times in both private and public settings, but it seemed like he wanted the internet to forget all about it, all because he wanted people to believe he was straight. And so he took things one step further. He staged one of the wildest accidents ever. Yeah, that's right. On September 11th, 2024, the ESPN analyst accidentally streamed audio of an intimate encounter to his followers on IG. Honestly, props to him because that's a great way to end up in the headlines and shut down the gay allegations. Shannon made sure to cash in on his little accident. At first, he tweeted this: "Beware, my Instagram was hacked this morning. My team and I are working vigorously to figure this out." And then he sat down on Nightcap and said this: "I threw my phone on the bed, engaged in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on, so I don't know how it works. And all of a sudden, my other phone started going off, and my heart sank. I called my agent, I called the agency, I called ESPN, and I thought, just tell them the truth. My phone wasn't hacked, it wasn't a prank, it was me being a healthy, active male. Obviously, I am embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio, heard for the entire world to hear, I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons." However, some fans suspected Shannon of staging everything to shut down the rumor mill. I mean, how does one accidentally turn on IG Live? And from what fans heard, there was not a lot of action going on in that bedroom. And guess what? That was the case. See, Russell had no plans about letting Shannon get away with lying to the public that easily. He was making cryptic posts on IG that had everyone second-guessing Shannon's statement. Like this IG story where he wrote, "I love my private life. You may see a little bit, but you won't see much. I'll tell you that. And the hardest thing I ever had to do is shut TF up. But he didn't stick to the cryptic posts for long. After a while, Hollywood got into Shannon's face without beating around the bush. He wrote, accidentally going live when you have to open the app, swipe right, then swipe left twice, and hit the button is absolutely insanely impossible. And if that didn't have Shannon sweating, this next story most definitely did. Hollywood posted this meme along with the caption, "Don't push me." It's like he desperately wanted people to know the truth, but was holding himself back. He also left fans on their toes with this post, "So much I want to say, but nah." And the caption, "I'll wait till the right time." What's more, Hollywood said this, "I know how Shannon operates, and I wouldn't put it past him to plan something like this." Mind you, this is the same man who exposed NFL star Kerry Rhodes for being in the closet.
If you don't want people to know your business, then you just don't speak on it. Now, you're not going to make me look like a damn fool. I don't care who you are. I don't care how big of a star you are. You're not about to make me like a fool.
So if he's hinting at someone being on the down low, you better take him seriously. That said, Hollywood never ended up spilling the entire tea about Shannon, and fans think it's because Sharpe shut him down. See, Shannon always kept tabs on Hollywood even after he fired him. He was afraid of what he might spill to the public. And so when discrediting him publicly didn't work out, he switched gears. Bravo had reached out to Hollywood with an offer for a role in a reality TV series, but Shannon shut it down. According to Media Takeout, Hollywood's team is telling Tasha K that Shannon is doing everything he can to try and block Hollywood from appearing on a reality TV show.
But according to Hollywood's team, his ex-stylist, he's been asked to do Love and Hip Hop, I believe. That Bravo is not Love and Hip Hop. Bravo, not Love and Hip Hop. Bravo has been trying to get Hollywood to come on a reality show as a full-time cast member. Hollywood is Shannon's ex-stylist that he took to football games, basketball games, sat courtside, bought him chains and everything, just really laid him out, okay? And however, according to the team, Shannon is trying to stop it because he thinks things will come out about him.
And just like that, Hollywood was sidelined. Shannon had already railroaded his career by discrediting him publicly, and this was the final nail in the coffin. Some fans believe he actually refused to spill the tea about Shannon because of how he blackballed him in the industry. Now, Shannon may have succeeded in shutting down Hollywood, but there's no stopping the truth this time. He's been accused of mistreating a woman, and the backlash has him packing his bags at ESPN. The former professional football tight end released a statement saying, "At this juncture, I am electing to step aside temporarily from my ESPN duties. I will be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I plan to return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason." Unfortunately for Shannon, it doesn't look like this lawsuit is going to go away anytime soon. His legal team had to release some R-rated messages between him and the victim. Some texts show Jane Doe telling Shannon that she wants him to put a dog collar around my neck and tie me up and do bad things to me. However, according to the victim's lawyer, Tony Busby, these texts are from before the incident. Every text that Mr. Sharpe's counsel released today, purportedly from Jane Doe, are dated prior to the alleged brutal assault.
Now, when I first heard that Tony Busby was the attorney, that kind of gave me pause just because of all the stuff he's dealing with Jay-Z. But when Shannon went and released her name, that's going to go against him as well. Like, the judge is supposed to determine that. So the fact that he put this woman out there publicly, people are going to be pissed about that as well.
Set forth in Jane Doe's case. Those texts were obviously released in an effort to distract the public's attention from the allegations in Jane Doe's lawsuit. It won't work. FYI, Jane's alleging that Sharpe allegedly threatened to kill her, manipulated and controlled her, and repeatedly threatened to brutally choke her and violently slap her. The two apparently met at a gym in Los Angeles in 2023 and kicked off a consensual relationship. But then Shannon started showing his true colors. He recorded their encounters without her consent and shared them with others. And then there was a violent incident in October 2024 and January 2025. However, Shannon's legal team is committed to fighting the allegations. Sharpe's attorney, Lanny J. Davis, said that the evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, language, and fantasy scenarios initiated by the plaintiff. On top of that, Shannon's been on a crusade to shut down the narrative, which makes sense. He's got $50 million and his reputation on the line. And so to defend himself, Sharpe released this video statement.
I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right.
Today, the former NFL star turned podcaster posting this video statement in response to a Nevada civil lawsuit filed by a woman who says her consensual relationship with Sharpe eventually led to multiple assaults. The lawsuit also accuses Sharpe of secretly recording their sexual encounters without her consent. The plaintiff, listed as Jane Doe, is represented by attorney Tony Busby, who has represented accusers in several high-profile sexual assault cases, and who Sharpe called out by name.
Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself.
Also new today, Jane Doe's attorney releasing an audio clip alleging it shows Sharpe threatening the plaintiff.
I'm not going to hang up on you. Here's what it is.
The plaintiff says, "Don't manipulate me." Then Sharpe allegedly responds,
Oh, no, have mercy. If you said that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you.
Which fans believe was a typical response for a man in his shoes. And that's exactly why you won't find a lot of folks rallying behind Sharpe right now. Between what Hollywood has to say about him and Jane Doe, people believe they have a clear picture of Shannon's true nature. And it's not looking good for him. But what do you think? Did Shannon really try to silence his male stylist? And is he going to go after him now as well? Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and make sure to check out this next video.
So I think that at this point, I really feel like Shannon is headed for possibly criminal charges. He's already at a deficit. He's lost the $100 million deal, and now looking to lose even more millions. And he's not even, his net worth is not even 50 million from what they're reporting. So I just think he's taken a L all across the board. It's really, really sad. And he even suggested that he would put out the video. That was a bad move. I don't see him recovering from this. He's lost money. He's lost sponsorships. And they're saying he will not be back at ESPN. So this is just a tragic story of a man who allowed his, male part to dictate how he does business, which was stupid. Desmond says, man, 56, stay out of the trouble that Black greatness endures. And all of a sudden, it's a young lady who hired Jay-Z's attorney soon as the deal goes through. Exactly. So Shannon has been unseated. Shay Sharpe has been taken down by a woman. And this is not anything that's new to history. What was it? The Trojan, the Helen of Trojan, where she hid in there. I mean, there's just so many stories that we hear about women taking men down, powerful men, because they're not thinking with the right thing. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate, please, if you didn't hit the like button on your way in, please hit the like button on your way out. Thank you, Desmond, for all of your engagement. Of course, Michael, Mike Brown, thank you. Trying to tell the truth, thank you for chiming in. Timothy Taylor, Michael M. Thank you guys for all joining and loving myself. You too. You guys all have a great day. I'm going to be coming back. I don't know if it's going to be later today or maybe even tomorrow, but we have to talk about Dr. Umar and his thoughts on Shador and everything that happened with that NFL draft. I have been watching that furiously. I'm just like, oh my God, because I can't believe what happened. I'm really shocked. So I would love to hear what you guys think about it. But you guys have a beautiful day and don't let nobody stress you out. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.